The immortal killing machines portrayed in a lot of movies could make us sick, but not terrify us at all. On the other hand, maybe the thought of a knife-wielding maniac trying to break into our homes sends shivers down our backs. This is a list of the top 5 horror movie killers who are psychopaths. Jigsaw. John Kramer, or Jigsaw, is the main antagonist of the Saw film series, portrayed by Cary Elwes. Kramer is a former engineer who is dying from a frontal lobe tumor. He attempts suicide but fails. This failed attempt reinvigorates his drive to live. Kramer takes this reinvigoration and channels it into attempts to make his victims appreciate their life, facing their moral flaws head-on by making them face certain death in the eye through games. Kramer forces his victims to hurt themselves or others in order to escape. The name Jigsaw was given to Kramer because of the fact that he cuts a piece of flesh in the form of a puzzle from his victims who fail his games. Some of Kramer's games include a razor wire maze, a pit full of old needles, and in the original Saw, a classic, a game of sawing your own foot off. Ghostface. Scream. Featuring a black hood and cloak and a white rubber mask resembling a screaming ghost, based on the Scream painting by Edward Munch, Ghostface is the main antagonist of the Scream movie series. Interestingly, Ghostface is not just one character. The figure is primarily mute in person, but voiced over the phone by Roger L. Jackson, regardless of who is behind the mask. Ghostface's signature weapon is a buck knife. Some of his trademark moves include taunting victims over the phone before killing them, slitting throats, and disemboweling victims. Hannibal Lecter. The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter is a forensic psychiatrist, best known for his role in the Silence of the Lambs film, portrayed by Anthony Hopkins, and by the overwhelming Matt Mikkelsen in the TV series. Oh, he's also a serial killer and a cannibal, leading to his nickname, Hannibal the Cannibal. Lecter is not a typical killer. He speaks very fluid and pointedly, and keeps himself looking trim and posh. He is also quite the cook, and that's why he enjoys turning his victims into supper. His guests should be happy to be eating upon such finely prepared human flesh. Lecter was first introduced in the 1981 thriller novel Red Dragon. Born in Lithuania, Lecter was orphaned at a young age, leading him to move to the United States and beginning his career as a successful psychiatrist and a sociopath. Jack Torrance. The Shining. Jack Torrance, portrayed by Jack Nicholson, is the antagonist of The Shining, a temperamental struggling alcoholic of a father. Jack and his wife and son, Wendy and Danny, go to the Overlook Hotel in Colorado over the winter to act as the hotel's caretakers. While there, Torrance struggles to cope with his alcoholic tendencies and mood swings. On top of all this, Torrance is haunted by the spirits of the hotel. They talk to him and appear to him, driving him further and further into madness. All of this pressure culminates in Jack snapping and attempting to murder his family with an axe. leading to the iconic scene of Nicholson bursting his face through a splintered door and yelling, "Here, Johnny!" Norman Bates' Psycho. The granddaddy of the horror genre is Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Psycho introduced Norman Bates, played by Anthony Perkins. Bates owns a motel where protagonist Marion Crane, Janet Leigh, checks in to spend the night. While showering, a shadowy figure stabs Marion to death, and Norman discovers her body before burying it in a nearby swamp. The film strongly implies Norman's mother committed the crime. Later, it is revealed that Norman murdered his mother and her lover 10 years earlier out of jealousy of his mother's affections. Norman, consumed with guilt, exhumed his mother's corpse and treated her as if she was still alive. In order to preserve that illusion, Norman recreated his mother in his mind as an alternate personality. He is often dressed in his mother's clothing and speaks in her voice. By the end of Psycho, the mother personality has consumed Norman completely. A psychiatrist examining Norman reveals that when Norman feels attracted to a woman, Mother flies into a rage and kills her. Norman Bates was the first true psychopath portrayed on film. Sometimes we all go a little mad.